guys and girls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I know this is a different setup right now. It's not going to be the full setup for the video, however, welcome back. It's really gloomy outside today. It is currently a Thursday, I think it's the same day this video will go up anyway. But welcome back to my channel. I know I have not been uploading recently. Like, for those that don't, well, if you don't know, I don't know how you know, but you know this whole like coronavirus, COVID-19, it's really draining. Like, I generally have just been isolating. I have to because of my medical health. I'm more in that like underlying health issues, so I have to stay at home. But I know that's like the prime time to like film, but I just haven't been motivated to film. Like, I just haven't found that there's any products right now that I'm screaming to tell you about. Like, I just thought today, why not? Because I'm going to be sorting out my makeup drawers because they are the, I constantly, because I'm a makeup influencer, I wouldn't say I'm an artist because I haven't been like certified, but I don't really think you need to all the time. But if you love doing it, then you're an artist with it. But I just need, because I get quite a lot of PR, which I'm grateful for, and over time products expire. I think that's one thing that we need to like start pushing more for, as people tend to keep a lot of products that have expired, which is really dangerous. So I'm going to be doing, as you see from the title today, decluttering my eyeshadow palette. Now that's probably the biggest like thing I've got out of everything in my makeup drawers. Obviously I've got quite a few foundations, concealers, all of that, but I feel as if my eyeshadow palettes, because I do a lot of eyeshadow looks on my Instagram, are my biggest. I have 3 drawers full of them, and that's not in a braggy sense. I'm not trying to brag in this video at all. I'm trying to tell you that you don't need products that have expired. You don't need tons of eyeshadow palettes. Sometimes 1 or 2 palettes in your collection will do you good, especially if you've got clients. Like, you don't always need to be using different palettes, but of course it's my job to show you and review products for you, so I tend to have quite a bit. I will be giving the ones that are not expired, I will be giving to like charities or friends, but the ones that have expired, which I know I have, I will be just like getting rid of them in the most respectable way. Okay, so in this first drawer right here, we have my, like, I generally right now, like, you can just see it's a mess. I just have everything and anything. I even have a bloody lipstick in here. I don't even know how that got in there. Anywho, I have like my 2 eyeshadow palette drawers are here. So I have my my 9 Alex drawers right here. These 2 drawers are the drawers that I don't really go to as much, or when I've reviewed something and I probably won't use it for a while unless I need a specific look, they go in these 2. This one specifically is really old palettes that I haven't touched for quite a long time, so probably a lot of these have expired. However, this one right here is my everyday necessity eyeshadow palette drawer, which we'll go through last because I'm probably not going to be chucking anything from there. Probably just going to be focusing on these 2 drawers and decluttering them so that I have got more space for, oh, this doesn't even close now, for all of these items. See what I mean? Like, I just need to declutter. Like, you don't even want to look at my concealer and primer drawer. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so I've got a bunch of eyeshadow palettes around me. So we're going to start off with the Ruby May #vibes palette. This is the palette right here. To be honest, I've never used it. I don't think... No, I haven't used it yet. So this is probably going to go to a friend or a family. So that's going to go in the friends and family pile. The Revolution Rachel Leary palette, the Goddess on the Glow. I did a review on this. I'm not a huge fan of it, so I'm actually going to get rid of this one. I have used it and it is like slightly broken, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Here, the Miss Lynn Desert Night metallic eyeshadow palette. I have used this a few times. This is really nice, but I'll probably give this to my mum because she likes these tones. Here we have the Blush Tribe, the Malika palette. Again, a lovely palette right here. I don't know if I'm actually going to use this again, just because the formulation is really nice in this palette. However, I've got other shadows that I've got these type of tones in it, so I'm probably going to give this to a friend. We have here one of my favorite Revolution Pro eyeshadow palettes ever, which was the Regeneration Trends Mischief Mattes palette. This was really nice. However, I have had this over a year now and it has a 12-month expiry, so I am going to get rid of this. Next we have the Glow Pot Glowing Wild palette. I think this is more of a skincare brand, but I think they did come out with their own eyeshadow palette. This is really cute. However, I'm probably not going to use this just because I've got many other palettes that do the same thing, so I'll probably give this to a friend or family. I have this bad boy right here, which is the Glam Light palette. I'm actually not a fan of this palette, to be honest. The pigmentation just isn't what I'd want in a palette. This does have a, okay, so it doesn't have expiry date on it, which it should, which is why a lot of brands these days need to start putting these things on there. It is a cute idea of a palette. I do feel a lot of space is wasted, so I am going to be getting rid of this one. Next we have the City Limits IB Beauty palette, which again I think I've used a few times. Yeah, I have used this palette. Again, it's not really my jam, to be completely honest. It is a really nice palette, but again, it's not really my jam, so I'm going to be getting rid of this one, and I think I've had it for quite a while now. Here we have the Revolution Precious Stones Rose Quartz. You guys saw me create a look with this palette when I did the Precious Stones collection. It's a gorgeous palette, like it really is a gorgeous palette. However, the pigmentation, the shimmers are really gorgeous. However, the mattes and that are just not my jam. So I'll probably be giving this to like my mum or someone like that. Here we have one of the first ever indie brand eyeshadow palettes that I purchased. This is the Certified, the Tropical Wonders palette. I really enjoy this palette. I don't want to be getting rid of this, but this is a well-loved palette. It is a gorgeous palette. I'll probably end up purchasing another one if they still have it in stock. I don't know if this has gone out of stock, but yeah, this one I'm going to have to get rid of just because I've had it way too long. I have my lovely Tammy X Revolution Tropical Paradise palette right here, if I can open it. This again is another well-loved palette. This has a 12-month expiry date on it. I have had this longer than a year. I think I've had this since it came out, so I am sadly going to have to get rid of this. I probably will buy it again. I do have Tammy's first palette, which I love, but I'm not risking having palettes that are over 12 months just because of expiry dates are really important. Trust me, guys, once the ingredients have expired, they do and can become dangerous, so it is best to get rid of them. Next we have the MUA, what's this? This is a 15 shade Fire Vixen palette. I'm probably going to give this to my mum. Again, my mum loves these type of tones. I'm probably not going to use this. It has a 12-month expiry. Like I've said, most of the palettes do, unless it's like a 36-month. But yeah, I'm going to give this to my mum. I have here another blush tribe palette, the Hasina palette. This was another well-loved palette. I think I won this in a giveaway when I first started my new Instagram. I think I entered a giveaway. I have had this quite a long time now, so I'm going to have to get rid of it. But it is a really nice palette. The shimmers are really nice. The mattes are okay. They're not my favourite mattes, but they are really nice. Next we have this palette by here, another indie brand, one of my favourite eyelash brands ever. This is the Unapologetic palette, the 25 colour palette. This one is really nice. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. I'm just going to be honest, I'm not too sure. The palette is really lovely. I like how it has glitters, which I actually haven't touched yet just because at the time I didn't have a glitter glue, but this is really nice. I like the tones in this. This reminds me very much of the Jaclyn Hill palette. I know many other brands bring out the same palette because I think it's like from a personal factory, but I don't know what I'm going to do about this yet. Okay, next we have the You Can Be palette, the remodeling palette. I actually don't think I've used this yet. This is a really cute little bronzer face palette. This is way too light for me, so I probably can't use it. I like how it has these shades at the bottom. I do think it's a little bit cheeky that they've copied a highlighter name and the shade from NARS, but who cares anyway. But yeah, this is a really cute palette. I'm probably going to give this to a friend just because these bronzer shades will not fit my skin tone. A Focal Your Endless Possibilities palette. This one is a really nice palette. Again, I don't know if I'm going to grab it again. I just have so many palettes like this. Like, I just feel that, for example, these two palettes basically look the same. Am I right in saying that they basically look the same? So why do I need so many palettes of the same? So I am going to be getting rid of this one. I have another Blush Tribe palette. This is the Pastel Tribe palette right here. I love their packaging on these. It's gorgeous. I am going to be keeping this. I do see myself creating a cute little look with this, so I'm definitely going to keep this palette. Another Blush Tribe palette we have here. This is I think that's the first palette I've kept, isn't it? I think it's the first palette I've actually kept. Next we have here the other, oh, I've not actually opened this yet. So this is the Layla eyeshadow palette by Blush Tribe. Again, Blush Tribe tend to do really nice shades of eyeshadow, so I can't wait to use these, and their reds normally perform really well. Their reds here. I'm sorry if this camera is really funky, just because I am at an angle, so it's a bit awkward. But yeah, this palette is really nice. Definitely going to keep it. Again, Blush Tribe tend to have the best packaging ever. I have here, which is just completely broken, my favourite Revolution palette, one of the favourite Revolution palettes. This is the Tammy Tropical Carnival eyeshadow palette. A well-loved palette, as you can see. It's amazing. I am going to be keeping this, so that is all loved. I have another one of my favourite Revolution, my lovely, beautiful friend Kami. This is his palette right here. Gorgeous, gorgeous palette. Again, going to be keeping this. I don't use this enough. This is probably going to be like an everyday eyeshadow palette, so I'm going to have to start using this a little bit more. It's really gorgeous. It's just because I have so many eyeshadow palettes, I tend to forget which ones I haven't used for a while. We have this one right here, which is the OPV Rainbow Splash palette. This palette right here, again, is another well-loved palette. I will be keeping this just because I love the shades in this palette. It's a palette that it's not really easy to come by in terms of shades. I do love it. The shimmers are amazing, the mattes are amazing, so I definitely will be keeping this. We have the Blossom palette by Blush Tribe. Blush Tribe tend to send me quite a lot of PR, so I'm really, really grateful for that. So we have here the Blossom eyeshadow palette, this one right here. It doesn't look well loved, but it definitely is well loved. I tend to be, this one doesn't have too much fallout in this palette, and I have given it a little bit of a clean. Sorry if I'm looking at the palette rather than looking at the camera. I am going to probably get rid of this just because, oh no, it's 24 months. No, I have had it longer. I've nearly had it over its expiry rate, so I am going to be getting rid of this. This is a gorgeous colour palette. I do love this, however, I'm probably going to have to get rid of it. We have another MUA palette right here. This is the Makeup Academy Flora Fantasy. It's a bit similar to the other one that I just showed you. I like this, however, it's not my favourite formulation, but I guess these are really, really affordable. I don't know, I'll probably end up giving this to my mum again, so that is something I can just save for. Here, it is filthy, I know, I'm sorry. The Amore Pro eyeshadow palette. I do actually really, really like this palette. This palette is really, really nice. Again, it's very similar to like the Morphe palettes. It has the same sort of like packaging and vibes. I don't use this enough, so I will be getting rid of it just because I know I won't touch it. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette, but I have used this quite a lot, but I've just got so many palettes right now. I'll probably end up giving this to a friend or getting rid of it. V-Lace eyeshadow palette. I think this one might be broken. No, it's not. I did get this quite a while back. Again, to be honest, this palette doesn't really scream my name. Like this shade maybe, but other than all the other shades are just not my jam. These shades are really, really nice. Like I want to see these sort of tones more in an eyeshadow palette. That's probably the only shade that I'd want me to make me keep the eyeshadow palette. If I could take that out, I don't know if I can take it out. Let me see if I can take it out. If I can take that shadow out and just keep it, then that would be perfect. But then, yeah, like these shimmers are gorgeous, but I just don't gravitate to palettes like this very much. We have this beautiful palette right here by Alexis Stone. This is the Instinct palette. I will be keeping this. I've only actually used it for the review that I done. I really, really like this. I feel as if I need to be in a certain mindset to use this. Just because the colour blocks, I love it, however it just jams my mind in terms of creativity. Sometimes I'll have like, if the yellow is like over here or the colours are mixed up, I sort of get an idea of what I want to use, but because they're in Colour Story, it tends to confuse me a little bit. I don't know if you guys get what I mean, however I will be keeping this just because it is an amazing palette. The pigmentation is insane. This is the Queen palette. Really, really pretty palette. Really pretty palette. I'm going to be debating on what I want to do with this. I just don't know. I've used it a few times. It is really, really pretty, but I like palettes with depth in them. Like I just don't see that much depth in this type of palette. I know it's gorgeous, however with my mindset and my creativity, this would probably go to a better home than me, because I love like a black or like a dark brown. I love depth within an eyeshadow palette. An eyeshadow palette always needs depth, whether it's a colourful palette, whatnot, because I don't want to have to go and grab another eyeshadow palette just to build up the depth. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about this yet. This is in my don't know pile. So next we have these two palettes right here. This is the Eye Candy Original Collection palette. My mum loved, oh, this one's broken, I think. Yep, I think this one's broken. Yeah, I won't use this. Like, I'm just going to be honest. This will probably be a really nice smoky palette, but this is not my jam. So I will be getting rid of this. If not, I'll just be giving it to my mum. One for my mum. My mum just loves a simple eyeshadow look. I will say to you guys, the brushes that come in here, keep them. That's why it's not in here right now. Keep them. Why? Because oh my god, I'm literally covered. Why? Because they are gorgeous at packing on shimmer. I know everyone was through that time, they're like, oh my god, no, you don't need those brushes because they're really bad for you. No, keep them because they are amazing. Once you spritz them with a little bit of spray, they're amazing at boosting up shimmers in an eyeshadow palette. Let me just go and get a wipe. Next we have here this palette right here, which is the Smashbox palette. This one I haven't used yet. This came out of their Christmas collection. I don't know if it's still going to be around, but this is, oh, I love these type of mirrors. I am going to be keeping this. I haven't used it yet. It is stunning. Different in a type of palette. I love the depth, aka this colour and this colour here, so I will be keeping this one. Next we have this Mimi Millennium eyeshadow palette. I think I've used this once or twice. I used it in a giveaway. This is going to go to my mum just because I don't use it as often. It's gorgeous. This one right here is a really, really pretty palette. However, I probably don't use it enough, so it's going to go to my mum. The Twinkle in Her Eyeshadows, book 1. I have not used this as of yet. I think I've had this for quite a while. Again, there's nothing about this palette that screams my name. I know it sounds so bad, but I'm not going to just keep hoarding things for the sake of hoarding things. Someone else probably use this a little bit like more wisely than I would. Martine's Makeup. She's an influencer on Instagram and she's come out with her own palette collection, which I will be keeping. Ooh, this is cute. I'm definitely going to be using this. I don't know how yet. I don't know why or when, but I'm definitely going to be using this because these have glitters in them. I don't know if you can see. Like, these glitters look gorgeous. I'm definitely going to be putting that in the top of my pile to use. We have these 4 beauties right here. So we have here the Sample Beauty Hydrographic Palette, which I am keeping. We have the Rain Palette, which I am keeping. I have the Ardor Palette, which I am keeping. And I think you get the drift with this one. The Immensity palette I am keeping. The You Can Be Pretty All Set palette. This one is broken. The black is broken in this palette. This is a gorgeous palette. Should I do a YouTube video on this palette? Should I not? There is 2 shades in this palette that are broken. I don't know what I want to do. I think this is just too much for my eyes. Like, I generally think this is too much for my eyes to bear. I would love these in 3 separate palettes. Like, this palette is gorgeous. That if I was to create an eyeshadow palette, it'd be very much these type of tones. I love them. But yeah, I don't know. I'll keep it for now. I'll keep it for now just because I know I would want to like create looks with this or do a YouTube video. Let me know if you'd like me to do a YouTube video because these are really accessible to get. I think you can get them on like AliExpress or something like that. So yeah, please let me know, but I'll keep this anyway. Definitely keeping. So we have here the Anastasia Beverly Hills like shadows. So I will be keeping these just because these were gifted to me and I'm on their PR list and I love their shadows. Physicians Formula Butter Eyeshadow Palette, the Sultry Nights palette. I did use this in a YouTube video. I think I did like a full face of Physicians Formula. I like it, however, it's not my jam. Honestly, like, it's just not got a lot of, it's not screaming my name. These sort of palettes are more for like people that just want to be on the go. I am not on the go. I like crazy eyeshadow looks, so I'm not going to be keeping this. A Florma Sunset eyeshadow palette. I am going to keep this. Now, I know I just said the basic idea of, oh my god, I'm not going to keep them just because it's not screaming my name. However, when I go out to events or I'm in the summer and I just want a quick eyeshadow look and I want to use these tones, I can just grab this palette instead of having to rummage through like XYZ palettes just to find those shades. I've got a little simple eyeshadow palette here, which will do it for me. 2 Bare Mineral palettes. I think these are eyeshadow palettes anyway. I don't think I've used this yet. These are gorgeous. These are very, very gorgeous. I have not used these yet. I don't know why. I think it's just I forget to use them. So we have 2 here, which are really, really stunning. They're very simple, but they're very elegant at the same time. I feel as if I need to do sort of eyeshadow looks with these. Again, I wouldn't know what to do. I don't know. I would just not know what to do with them. But I am going to keep them for the now. And then if not, I'm just going to give these to my mum because she would really, really love these. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my fluffy socks as usual. We have here the Alexis Stone Transformation palette. So this is the second one to his first palette. These are just like the shimmery shades. These are marvellous. I've only used this once, like I said in the YouTube video, but I will be keeping this. But here we have my beloved Revolution Reloaded Neutrals 3 palette. Now these were my favourite. These are £4. I could not suggest something better to you. If you're starting out on makeup and you want an eyeshadow palette that's going to do everything for you, the pigmentation is going to be insane. These palettes are so much better than the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I'm just going to be honest with you and throw that out there. I love Anastasia, but these shimmers and shadows are probably the best, one of the best formulations I've ever come by with Revolution or in general with any palette. Now I don't know why they changed this formula. Like, they need to have this formula consecutive with every other eyeshadow palette. For example, these are different and these are the same reloaded types. I want to see the same formulation with every other palette. Now I know it's different for different shadows, however with the other Reloaded palettes that they came out with, these type, the smaller ones, even with the colourful one, they were all the same formulation, all the same pigmentation, all the same payoff, all the same finish, everything about them. And then they started bringing out other eyeshadow palettes, for example like this one, and it's just not the jam. Like, I just don't like it. Nothing will beat this. You need to go back to this, Revolution. You really do. I feel like it's just, I love this formula. Who agrees with me? However, I've got to get rid of this because I've had this over a year now. But yeah, these were my favourite palettes. You can see how well loved this was. This palette has some real hit home for me. Reason being is because this was the first palette, this was the palette that I wore to the first ever Revolution event I went to, which was the Halloween party. So I'm so grateful for them. That was when I first started out on makeup. So I love this palette. This is dear to my heart, but I have to get rid of it. For guys right here. Now, I generally don't know what I'm going to do with these. I generally do not know. I think I'm probably going to keep these two, just because I like my neutrals and I like these. But to be honest, I don't know what it is. Like, I like colour, but these are not calling my name. Like, I like these tones. Like, I want to see these tones. These tones are, oh, I want to see like these tones in a palette. Like that tone, these tones. Like, not too there's too much going on. Like, I generally, because as soon as I pick up the palette, I see these bright colours. I forget that there's these gorgeous green tones or these gorgeous brown tones, and then I don't touch it. Reason, because of these crazy colours, which is great. However, it's just, again, the first two colours that I look at when I see this palette is the orange and the yellow, and already it puts me off. But these got these gorgeous like purpley tones. So I don't know. I feel as if I'm going to give these to friends, because these are just, it's not going to work for me. Palette right here, which is by Profusion. This is the Sienna palette. A gorgeous neutral toned palette. This is absolutely stunning. I love this. However, let me see the expiry date. It is 24 months. I don't know. I feel as if I just don't know. I just don't know. And we have these two here as well. I'm definitely going to be keeping the Spectrum palette because I love this colourful palette. It's amazing. But I don't know what I feel about the shimmer palette. I don't think it performs as well as I'd want it to. It is gorgeous, however I don't reach for it enough, so this is going to go away. And we do have another palette by Profusion, which is this one right here. I'm probably going to keep, I don't know which one I'm going to keep out of the two. Probably going to keep this one just because of the tones it has, like the greens and whatnot. So I'm going to keep this one, and I'm probably going to get rid of this one. This brand right here, which is Ditto Cosmetics, I will be keeping probably all of these. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel as if the packaging is just like over the top, but it's cute at the same time. Like, these are definitely cute palettes. I'm going to give this one to my mum because she will really like this palette. She loves these tones. I'm probably going to keep, ooh, I like this one. This is another palette I like, so I will be keeping this one. This one I don't know about yet. I really don't know. I really don't know. I think these type of shimmers are really interesting, but the mattes are just not for me. Like, I don't know what I'd do with them. I probably will do some cute looks with them, but just right now, I don't know. This is in my don't know pile, and again, this one is in my I don't know pile. This guy right here, which of course I'm going to be keeping. It's great. It's not my favourite formulation from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I know the formulation is different to their previous palettes, but it's cute at the same time. So this here is the ABH Norvina Volume 1 palette. I will be keeping this, as I just said. Juvia's Place palette. This is the Fumi X Juvia's Place. I will be keeping this. I think this is a great palette. I generally think this is a great palette. I will be keeping this. This probably I'm just going to use for a face palette. For like the highlighter and the blushes possibly, but yeah, we'll be keeping this. Great. Right here, which is the Natural Beauty palette. I'm probably going to be giving this away just because I know I'm not even going to open it. I won't use it. It's too neutral for me. I've got so many palettes like it in other eyeshadow palettes, so I will be getting rid of this. One right here from Lime Crime. This is the Prelude palette. I have just used this. This is really cute. I will be keeping this just because it is brand new into my collection and I want to see what I can do with it. So Reloaded palette that I'm so gutted to get rid of. This again was the Neutrals 2 palette, my favourite palettes ever from Revolution, like I've just mentioned. Sadly, I will have to get rid of this just because I've had it for way too long. Right here from Primark, this is their Glittery Eyes palette. I won't use this. I think I've had this for way too long now. Or maybe not. I'm just probably not going to use it. I'll probably give it to a friend or family, but for the time being, this is going to go in my will not use palette. I don't think I've touched that yet. So we go on to some sad palettes right here, which I'm thinking I'm going to have to get rid of. Sorry, Bubby. I'm thinking I'm going to have to get rid of, because I've had these over 12 months now, and I don't know if I can separate from them yet. I don't know if I can separate. I don't know if this is discontinued? Like, is this actually discontinued? It isn't discontinued yet, but I can't get it. Like, I'm not going to get it again because I've had it longer than 12 months and I need to get rid of this. Like, I need to get rid of this. I am so gutted because I absolutely love this palette, but I need to get rid of it because I'm just not going to use it. Look at this little one. Look at him. Oh, come here. I'm going to keep this just for the memory. Like, just for the memory. I cannot get rid of it. I just can't do it. Like, I just can't. This is a phenomenal eyeshadow palette. I know there's some real controversy on this now because the formula is not vegan anymore, etc. But I need to keep this. I need to keep this. I just want it in my life. Like, the Sailor Moon eyeshadow palette right here from Colourpop. I'm going to be keeping this. I just think this is so adorable, and I know I'll use it when I need to, and I always keep my Colourpop palettes because they're amazing. Number 15 palette by Deck of Scarlet. I did do this for a collaboration with them. Not, this isn't my palette, but I did a paid collaboration with them. This is a really gorgeous palette. The tones in this are stunning. I know these are 2 lip shades. These would have been gorgeous mattes, but yeah, the gorgeous shades in this palette are really nice. So I definitely will be keeping this. Lastly, you guys would have seen recently the Glass eyeshadow palette by Revolution. Again, I'll be keeping this because the tones in this are stunning. So far we have kept these many palettes. It's not a lot compared to when I had all of this. So I have decluttered quite a few palettes, which I'm really happy about. Obviously we're going to be doing more in a moment, but I know these are the palettes now that I will be using compared to, oh, look at him. Oh, compared to, hello. Boop. Compared to the rest of them, which I just never touched. Okay, so on to the next set of eyeshadow palettes. This is getting ridiculous now. Okay, so these I'm probably going to be keeping all of them just because they are what I love. Anywho, but we're going to go into my little Colourpop collection right here. So we have these 3 right here, which is the Orange You Glad. I'm not going to be opening them up, you've probably seen them. It's My Pleasure palette and the Honey palette. Again, 2 more, which is the Mint to Be and the Smoke Show palette, which I will be keeping. I then have my Anastasia Beverly Hills collection. So we have the Norvina palette, the Amrezy palette, keeping. We have the Modern Renaissance and the Carly Bible palette, keeping. Culture, Riviera, keeping. The Alyssa Edwards, the Soft Glam palette, keeping, and the Jackie Aina palette I will be keeping. As Gold Colourpop palette, keeping. All good eyeshadow palette which needs a clean. So I'm going to take this off because I did just spill black eyeshadow all over my sofa, not all over my bed. We have this It's Good palette, which I'm probably not going to keep just because, again, this doesn't call out my name. So yeah. I have the Profusion Classic eyeshadow palette. I don't actually use this, to be honest, so I will be getting rid of this just because I know I can just pick one up if I need to. They're really affordable. So yeah, this is cute. It's not a bad palette, just I don't use it. Again, I've got black shadow everywhere. Charlotte Tilbury Walk of Shame Luxury eyeshadow palette. This is gorgeous. Definitely keeping this. We'll be having this in like my top drawer collection because I love this. The Snap Shadows, which I love. I have them in the shades 7, 3 and 6. We'll be keeping these. The Beauty Ocean palette, which I will not be keeping, I don't think. Probably won't use this. It's cute, but I probably won't use this, so I will be giving this away. The Stones ones, which I'll be keeping. Nude collection from Huda Beauty, which I'll be keeping. NARS palette right here. The NARS palette, which is the Beardeer palette, which is stunning. I will be keeping this. I love NARS. I love NARS formulas. They're amazing. Keeping these neon palettes by Huda Beauty. To be honest, I'm not a fan of them. They're not my favourite, but I will be holding on to them just because They're Huda Beauty and I get PR from them, so of course I want to hold on to them. The amazing Carnival palette by Be Perfect Cosmetics, which I definitely will be keeping. This Tropical Dreams palette by OPV Beauty, which I will be keeping because I love this. I have here the Kat Von D or KVD Beauty now, the Lolita palette. I haven't used this yet. Should I use this in a YouTube video or an Instagram look? We'll be using this, a gorgeous palette which I will be keeping. The Illamasqua Expressionist palette, cute palette, will be keeping. And we have their Electrify palette, which again I will be keeping. Lash Beauty, the Spice palette, I haven't used yet, so I will be keeping this to do a video on. Same with their Flamingo Beach palette, which, look at this guys, oh my god, how stunning is that? We'll be keeping. Sample Beauty, the Paradigm Shift palette, which is one of my favourite palettes of all time. We'll be keeping this definitely. Beautiful, beautiful shadow. My favourite palette from Morphe, the 35 Boss Mood palette. Love it, definitely keeping this one. The Sample Beauty, the Equalizer palette. This one I don't really gravitate towards too that much. It's not my jam, to be honest. It's cute. I like this colour arrays, but again, I'll be keeping this just because I know I'm going to use it because I love Sample Beauty formula. It's one of my favourite formula ever, so yeah. Let's have the Smashbox Cover Shot Major Metal eyeshadow palette. Ooh, I need to use this. This is more, I think this is all shimmers, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to use, but if I just wanted to do a day where I'm just doing a shimmer eyeshadow look, then I'll use this. We have my two Mercury and Nude palette by Huda Beauty, which I'll be keeping as usual. I have this palette by Sleek, which is the Major Morphosis palette, which I love. Again, a really, really nice palette, gorgeous. I have the OPV Spotlight palette, which to be honest is not my thing as much anymore. These shades are lovely. They will not be keeping this. Here, the September Rose Cosmetics Slush 2 palette. Really, really nice. Not sure if I'll keep this. Do you know what? I will keep it for the time being, but I don't know. Do you know what? I probably won't keep this just because I just don't touch it. Here, the Juvia's Place Nomad palette, which I will be keeping. This formulation is not my favourite from Juvia's Place, but the colours I really, really like, so I'll definitely be keeping this. Here, another September Rose Cosmetics palette, the Brew eyeshadow palette. I like this, I'll be keeping this. I then have the Bella Pierre All Stars eyeshadow palette, will definitely be keeping this. I really, really like this palette. I have the 3502 palette, which again is probably out of date. Oh, yep, this is broken. So I think I'm going to keep this for the time being, but put it in the back of my stash. But yeah. Out to the last three palettes finally. We have here the Morphe 18B palette. I love this. Love, 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 love. Love this. Beautiful palette. Everyone needs this in their collection. It is stunning. The Clientele palette by Jar and Be Perfect Cosmetics, keeping obviously. We have here the Lime Crime Venus XL palette. I haven't used this as of yet. I probably need to because it's gorgeous. Like the tones in here are gorgeous, but I will be keeping this because this is absolutely filthy. We have here the Unicorn Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, which is this guy right here, which I'll be keeping. Okay, so I've just put all of the eyeshadows away in the two drawers. They finally fit in the two drawers and I have space. Now, please don't judge my putting away skills because I need to get some drawer dividers. Can any of you advise where I can get some drawer dividers? I'm going to need some drawer dividers when it comes to my lipsticks. So I put my main eyeshadows in this drawer right here. My main eyeshadows are now in this one. So my everyday that I always go to. So my Huda Beauties, my Colourpop, my Anastasia, all the other ones. And there are some back there as well. And then I just pop my Carnival palette on top. And here we have the drawer that was full. Now it's pretty empty, and this drawer is empty. Oh, hello. Now this drawer is empty. I'm going to give it a clean, but we have this drawer now, so I have a okay, this doesn't close. Don't know why it doesn't close, but there's something stuck behind it. However, ta-da, we have a full drawer, and we have a full drawer open. Yay! I'm so happy. You guys do not understand, because now it means this will probably be my lipstick drawer. This will probably be my lipstick drawer, so I'm so excited for that. So yeah, tree is literally about to die, which is about on time really. But thank you for watching this video. I will be doing some other like decluttering. I'm going to be decluttering all of them, so all my foundations, my lipsticks. My lipstick ones are going to take ages, my concealers, powders, bronzers, highlighters, everything. And then I might even do my skincare declutter, because this all needs decluttering as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a massive thumbs up. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Let me know what other videos you like from me, and yeah, I shall see you in my next one. Bye.